Peace, everybody. This is Link Green, the KryptoKhemist from Metaverzuz. I am one half of Metaverzuz. Mo is actually conducting some business for us right now, but I'm here to let you know what the hiatus has been about. We have actually been in Austin, Texas, putting on Consensus 2022. Basically consulting for CoinDesk. And I was able to actually act as the operations manager and spokesperson for their new social token, Desk Token. So you should definitely head over to CoinDesk and learn more about this token. Mo actually was able to act as floor manager on the floor of Consensus for this Desk Token rollout. This was the first social token rollout in real life ever. So we made history, and we had been very busy with that. And so, our schedules just didn't coordinate well enough for us to continue recording. But we are right back at you with some new content coming very soon, and we'll let you know more about that. But what we did realize going to Consensus and then later on NFT NYC was that there is so much more of a disparity between education and blockchain than we realize. And we're not really talking about it. We're not really covering it. So what we decided to do was go ahead and reach back to the people who are really interested in learning this information, but just don't know where to start. They don't even know what a blockchain is. How can you start telling people that this stuff is going to change their lives if they don't even understand its basic concepts? And so I just really wanted to break this down to a level of understanding that I actually use for children, to teach them about blockchain technology, as well as not so tech savvy people. So if you're anywhere in between there or higher, you'll definitely understand this example. So let's get right into it. All right, so I want you to imagine that this is a Google document, right? And we've all used Google Documents. Well, most of us, I should say, have used Google Documents, where we share a file with multiple people and we can see when it was last edited and we can see what was done, right? So if we click on the document, it will tell you who has been actually editing the document. And not only that, it will tell you the time and the date and who the person was. And if you click on it, it will actually show you what the person did, right? So this is essentially information that is being organized in a chronological order, right? Because it starts all the way at 11:42 a.m. and then it goes to 11:44, 46, 47, all the way up to 11:52. And so it's telling you who's making the changes. All right. These are the different entities or individuals who are making the changes. And of course, this is different accounts. These are different accounts of mine. So you'll see my name here and here, right? But then we also have this other account. And these are the times that these changes have been made. And so what's happening here? Well, these are blocks of information that are happening in a chronological order. Each time a change is made, and the person who makes the change, as well as the date and time that the change was made, in addition to, right, the actual change that was made, is outlined in this block of information. And so what happens is one block is created, another block is created, and another block is created. And now you have a chain of blocks. But it would be pretty weird to walk around calling this technology a chain of blocks. So in order to condense it and make it more palatable, I guess that's what we're looking for here, they just call it a blockchain. And so right here, very handy for you, I have these concepts that I want you to sort of parse over in your mind. So this is the blockchain, right? The blockchain is not mystical. I want you to first remove that barrier to understanding this technology, which is you telling yourself that it's too hard, it's too mystical, it's too whatever, and so it's not for you. It's absolutely for you, and you will be using it very soon here. So will your children and their children. So this is something that you would like to make sure that they are enlightened on before they have to start using this. As their parent, this is something that is your responsibility. even if you're an older sibling or an uncle or an aunt, definitely a grandparent. This is something that you need to be imparting on your children. So you need to learn this. And the first way to do that is by not telling yourself that this is mystical. Okay. All this is a series of different blocks of information about different transactions, right? Blocks of information. The transaction is just the change that was made in this case, right? Because transactions can be anything. A hug is a transaction, right? And they are logged in a chronological order, creating a chain of blocks of information about what happened here. This is why we call it a blockchain. Remove the dash there. It's one word. You got a compound word. That's it. Absolutely no mysticism there. If someone found some mysticism in that, please email me at support@planetkrypton.io, or you can email us at Metaverzuz at gmail.com. And let me know where the mysticism is in that statement. Now, you can go off, a cliff or down a rabbit hole if you want, but that statement, that definition. All right. The blockchain, though, it's very important. And this is where people get messed up when we say, hey, we want to teach you blockchain technology. And they're like, I'm not doing that crypto stuff. Yeah. OK, cool. But we want to teach you blockchain technology, guys. And so blockchain, or the blockchain, it doesn't need crypto to exist. OK, because it's the technology that powers cryptocurrency. It is not analogous with cryptocurrency. Analogous meaning the same thing. On the other hand, cryptocurrency does need blockchain to exist, because cryptocurrency is powered by something. If you're powered by something, if your heart powers your blood system, then you need it, right? So cryptocurrency is powered by blockchain technology. So I want you to think of the blockchain like a Tesla. Right, you know how Teslas can be either driven by a person or automatically, or not automatically, but automated. All right, so think of the person as cryptocurrency, and the Tesla, or the vehicle, as the blockchain. All right, that Tesla can move without that person at speeds that person can't move at. So that person needs that Tesla in order to travel at that speed. In this case, cryptocurrency needs blockchain in order to travel, in order to move, in order to be transferred and received and stored even, because it all happens on the blockchain. Okay. And the final part is that the blockchain isn't that mystical at all, which we've just uncovered. But the problem is that technology is a highly jargon-filled industry with words, terms, and even practices that the majority of the world doesn't understand. Listen, you have to get it. People in tech are very different, just like people in art. But people in tech are very different. Their minds work very differently, a lot quicker than, the average person's mind. And so since this is sort of unique, right? It's not the norm. They were in small groups in school and, wherever they were socialized, let's say that. And so they were different.
That's weird.
And so they created their own, we have to understand this. They created their own terms, jargon, all of these things. I was a part of these groups, but I was fortunate enough to be able to be, on sports teams and, and band and all this other stuff. So I still was able to see that, though, that different interaction between groups. And so they had to really band together and create their own sort of culture. That's what these movies are about. You know what I mean? Where these kids who are outcasted kind of create their own culture. But these kids usually grow up to be engineers and tech, because they spent a lot of time isolated. So they spent a lot of time teaching themselves. And that information became their friends, right? And they joined these clubs around that information. And so they went on this track where they've always had to have their own culture to sort of insulate themselves. So that I'm saying all that to say that the information that they put out, the jargon that they put out, there has to be someone who sort of breaks this barrier between that by saying, oh yeah, translating basically, oh, this is what that actually means. Okay, gateway portals and stuff like that. This is what that actually means in regular everyday terms for the other children, during those socialization periods, who were in those bigger groups and had more of a general concept of language, right? And so I just wanted to make sure that if you're one of those people who's like, what are you guys talking about, man? This stuff is way over my head. It's not that hard. And when you get into NFTs and all of that, listen, anything that you put onto a blockchain, anytime that, let's say that this happens on a blockchain, right? Because right now this is not immutable, meaning that Google could come in here anytime and just start deleting stuff and say, this never happened. I don't want this to show anybody that it happened. I don't want this to be revealed to anyone. So they could just come and delete it. But on the blockchain, each of these blocks of information that form a chain are logged so that they are immutable, which means that you can authenticate and validate and prove ownership over several different types of things. So when we talk about NFTs and we say, oh, that's just a picture, no, it's not. It's actually proof that this thing exists, whether in digital or physical form, and it's logged onto the blockchain, which makes it a token.
Peace, everybody. It's Link Green, the KryptoKhemist. And man, I just was getting ready to unwind for the day. I just put out a video showing everyone the analogy between a Google document and how that works and the blockchain and how the two are very similar. But what I forgot to tell you all is this September in Myrtle Beach, we are going to be having a private retreat type of meetup where we are going to be giving you all of the science on exactly what you need to be doing to prepare for this crash. And we're going to show you exactly how the people who became millionaires during the last crash, how they did it. So if you want more info on that, I want you to go to becryptoconfident.com. Check it out. And I will be putting the information in whatever description you have here. All right. Peace.
When you talk about non-fungible, right? That's the first part. Well, what is fungible? Fungible just means that it's one for one. If I give you $1 and say, hey, give me your $1, we can just switch it, no problem. But if I give you $1 and you have $1 that's signed by, name your favorite celebrity. Let's say it's signed by Beyonce or Jay-Z. Are you going to give me that $1 for my $1? Absolutely not, because those are two different things with two different values, and your $1 now is actually unique, which means that its value is higher because of that uniqueness. So it's non-fungible. We can't trade that one for one. So if you take a picture of that $1 to say, hey, this is my $1, Jay-Z signed it on this date at this place, and you load that picture onto the blockchain, you mint it onto the blockchain. Once you load it onto the blockchain, that non-fungible item now becomes a token, a non-fungible token. And that blockchain transaction is going to be unique. You can never, remember, this is a line of different or a chain of different blocks of information. You can't do this 1146 transaction again. There will never be another chain or another block in that chain that is like this one, as you can see here. This will always be unique. So once you prove, you basically take that block and plant your flag saying that, hey, this $1 that was signed by Jay-Z was signed on this day at this time, and I've logged it here. Now nobody can take that from you. That is ownership. That is a whole different paradigm of power and ability. Imagine all of the things that were taken from people by people who had more authority to take it. And those people couldn't prove that it was theirs because they didn't have that authority and that power. But now the whole world can see this blockchain and can say, hey, no, you took that from those people and you need to give it back to them. This is the level of like world events and interventions from world governments. If used correctly. I'm not saying that that's the case now, but it could be. But you have to first understand it. And they are moving at hyper speeds without making sure that you understand it for a reason. Because this could actually change the world. And though for those who are scared of it and believe that it is the, mark of whatever, I don't want to offend anyone. For those people, I would encourage you to learn it. Even if you think it's the worst thing in the world, at least learn it. Because I guarantee you what is going to happen is that it is going to spark different thoughts in your mind about how you can actually leverage it to empower yourself or your community or your team or your whatever. And that is what I am imploring you to do today. Learn this stuff. If you need help, if you need information, email us at our actual Infinite Digital Management company. Email us at info@infinite-elite.io and get that information from us. Okay, we are a consulting firm and a blockchain project management firm. We specialize in Web3 blockchain technology. We usually teach companies how to implement blockchain technology in Web3 into their structures, right, into their operating procedures. But we also teach individuals in our individual companies that we consult through, and we have been teaching. I've been teaching since 2014. So this isn't something we're new to. This is definitely something that we're true to. And we're asking you to give us the opportunity to hold your hand through this, because this is going to be a shift that is going to happen at hyper speed. And those who are not prepared will feel it the worst. And so we don't want you to be one of those people. Okay. They're already showing you all of the signs that they're getting ready to jump ship. And, I do know what to tell you, but it's a lot of information, and you have to be prepared and committed to learning. Okay, committed to learning it. All right. So thank you so much. As I always say, you are divine. It is your time. Thank you for your support to Metaverzuz. It really means a lot to us, and we will continue to bring you content now that we've gotten things sort of back under control, and we're back on our weekly schedules. We'll continue to bring you content. And let us know if there's anything that you want to either hear about, any projects, any Web3 NFT projects. We're definitely on those, right? But if there are any educational segments that you would like for us, since these companies are not doing it for you the way that you need it to be done, if there are any informational segments that you would like for us to teach you directly, hey, can you teach me about this? Can you teach me about that? Can you teach me about this? We will do those segments every couple of weeks for the people, teaching you about whatever it is that you want to learn. So please let us know. And again, you can email us at info at infinite-elite.io. Get that information to us. And I appreciate your time.